to 6.
That day, we had someone else at a live show immediately after us. When they have a live show, we came up with a
No, that's fine. I'm talking about when you end at 4 o'clock, and that's the time I'm reaching.
Welcome back to Yogaxpress, your virtual stretch clinic that helps you move the body to still the mind. My name is Banu Suresh. I'm your host for this program. From our extreme right, we have Ron Thomas. Ron is a producer here at Manhattan Neighborhood Network. He has a weekly show called Big Talk. Every Thursday, let's hear your voice, Ron.
Big Talk, yeah, we're on
And
simultaneously with Yogaxpress.
You're on
Thursday.
simultaneously with Yogaxpress. Ron has a call-in show, so feel free, stay in touch with Ron's show as well. He has some amazing themes every now and then. Talks about different things other than the fact that he fell off the bike and broke someone's windshield.
I flew off like Superman.
You flew like Superman. Talk about flying. Our special guest, Romona, and I'm going to save her reintroduction to the last, but I just couldn't help it when Ron talked about flying. She took us through a very interesting experience yesterday, and one of them especially stays in my mind, where we literally, I thought we were going to take off, where we moved, flapped our arms, flapped our wings, and it felt so energizing, actually. That was an amazing experience, but I'm going to save that feeling for the last. To Ron's left and to our special guests, right? We have Lana Parr. Lana, welcome back. How did you feel yesterday? After yesterday's episode?
Felt very good.
Felt good, right? Very energizing. It was very simple, no movement of the legs. We just stood up, just the arms. But all those gestures, felt so... I thought it was very meaningful for me as well. But yeah, it was like opening up the heart. You felt good. And how about the flapping of the wings? Were you ready to take off, as I was?
Just about, yes.
Well, welcome back, Lana. To my immediate left, we have Jonathan Boothe. Jonathan, you are also into martial arts.
Yes.
You do a lot of personal physical training as well at the gym.
Yes, I do.
I wonder how we could tell, huh? All those muscles up there. But you have, we would love to have you share that dimension of your career with our viewers. So round about in the next couple of weeks, we'd like you to come on the show and talk about a little bit about what you do in the martial arts. But right now, would you tell us, I noticed this card that you have. What is it?
Yes, basically this is a flyer of the school where I attend. It's called Next Evolution MMA Academy. Basically the programs that we have karate for kids and also Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu for kids.
Okay.
And for women, we train them in kickboxing. And
Right.
for men and women, we have adult Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, mixed martial arts, which is MMA, and also we train in Muay Thai, which is which comes out of Thailand.
Muay Thai.
Muay Thai, yes.
Muay Thai.
Originally, the martial arts is from the country Thailand.
All I can think of is Mai Tai. You know, Mai Tai is a drink, right? Muay Thai.
Yes.
Does it have a meaning or something?
I don't know the true meaning behind it because I just know that it comes from the country Thailand. It's just I haven't actually trained in it.
Oh, I
But,
see. I thought that was the area of your...
Yeah. So no, we train at of course, and we're located in Upper Manhattan at 1786 3rd Avenue. For any of you who have any questions, you can go to nextevolutionmma@gmail.com.
Okay.
And feel free to send any questions that you
Well, when you come on as our special guest, we'll actually put the credits on the screen so people can also watch and go visit that site as well.
Yeah, sure.
So right now you're training there, you're
Yes.
studying there.
Yes, I'm studying Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Maybe you might end up teaching there eventually, right? You're studying
Hopefully,
jiu-jitsu.
let's see what belt I reach in. I guess so.
Okay, I'm looking forward to your episode, Jonathan. Don't desert us. Now for the big moment. Josiane Hurd, by the way, thank you so much for holding the fort again. Our director, Josiane, once more is flying solo in the control room, so thanks so much. Richard Swanson, Malik Parker, our facilitators responsible for the studio lights and the setups right here in the studio. Did I just say setups? I'm a non-native speaker of English, so you have to understand I do make slips every now and then. Now for our special guest, Romona Mukherjee. Romona, you took us through an amazing experience in the last episode. I actually was surprised that such simple gestures could actually make us feel so energized. So what was the secret? What was happening? Give us a quick recap.
Yeah, so it's nice that you note that, because I think we have these notions that to come to focus we have to sit in meditation
Right.
for hours and hours, and that's how people gain focus. But there's just some simple awareness if we understand, if we connect to sort of the full system, all of the systems of our bodies. So in bringing our hands together in a certain way, in sending our gaze with a very directed intention,
Right.
and in pausing for 3 deep breaths, we actually activate so much in our system. It's just that soft and gentle, but transformational.
It does. I mean, I'm sure we could make life-changing decisions just with those gestures sometimes. Because you talked about Hakini Mudra, for example. So keeping all the fingers together. I've actually seen people do that at meetings when they're trying to come together, literally bring their thoughts together with all their fingers open, and they're sitting like this. And they're thinking. There must be something happening in the circuitry of the body, right?
Absolutely, yeah. So it's said that, the right hemisphere of the brain is connected to the left side of the
Right.
body, and left hemisphere is connected to right side. So when we're overproducing anxious thoughts, that tends to be a right hemisphere thing. And when our right hemisphere, like I'm speaking in very gross terms, when that particular part of the brain is overactive, to counter that, if we activate the left side, which is in charge of linear processing, logical thinking, so like anxious thoughts are all over the place, but that linear sort of thinking can help counter. So when we actually bring
Fingers
the
together.
fingers together, there's a literal balance of the right and left hemisphere.
Fascinating, fascinating. That was very well put. It puts things in perspective so much better now.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense. No wonder all those top managers sit over there. I think I'm going to start adopting that posture. I like it. I like it.
It's nice you can do it on a train. I find
That's
myself,
right.
at the end of the day when I'm just stressed out, I just sit like this on the train.
Also, it
and
doesn't matter if it's down or up. It doesn't matter which way we do. Okay.
Either way.
Wow. What do you have planned for us today? Ramona, by the way, before she moves on, Ramona is a psychotherapist, a yoga trainer, and a hypnotherapist as well?
Yes.
So she is a multifaceted personality right here, so watch what you think when you're in her presence, but feel free. That said, very soon, in the next couple of months, we plan to go live 1 day a week. We will have guests like Romona come in at that time. We will be taping as well, but on the live shows, we're definitely going to have our special guests on, so feel free, send us your questions. Email your questions to Romona directly. Her credits are on the bottom left of the screen. Actually, since we can't see the monitor very well, Romona, would you call out your website as well?
Yes, excuse me, yes. So my website is www.therapy2evolve.com.
Therapy to Evolve. So just go to her website and you can stay in touch with Romona, send her questions directly through her website, or you can contact us, mnn.org, that stands for Manhattan Neighborhood Network, which is where we air these episodes, we tape and air these episodes. Or you could go to my website as well, yogaxpress.com. We live in North America. We don't know how to spell, yogaxpress.com. Ramona, what do you have planned for us today?
So today what I'd like to do is lead you all through a sequence of movements that are geared towards neutralizing fearful and anxious thoughts. So as a therapist, a big part of what I encounter in my clients are the issue of anxiety, generalized anxiety. Usually anxiety surfaces because there's something that makes us nervous, something that we're afraid of. We feel this, people feel it, butterflies in their stomach, some people feel headaches, some people feel this, we always feel it in our body.
Right.
So my approach as a therapist is to really acknowledge that connection and use it, because if we just talk about what's making us anxious, it will only get us so far.
Right.
If we actually move it through the body, we might find a greater sense of
You
freedom.
dilute the anxiety right there.
Yeah,
I love
absolutely. So, so what I'd like to do.
You're going to take us through some breathings.
Yeah, well, actually, much like our episode yesterday, we're going to come to stand.
Oh, okay.
So maybe we can all just go ahead and come to
For a moment, I
stand.
thought I could look a little taller. All right.
It didn't last for too long, so you can come to stand. And
I know, it is a little cold. Studio equipment has to be kept under very cold temperatures. Other than that, it's great ambiance right here. I'm sorry.
Absolutely. So maybe we'll stagger ourselves a little bit so we have some space.
Maybe Jonathan, you and Ron, I'll be in the middle part.
I'll be in the back.
Romona is way front, and you and Ron can go in the back. Okay, you guys are the tallest.
So for fearful and anxious thoughts, what I'd like you to do is begin by bringing your feet so that your heels are touching and your toes are out. And we're going to bring a soft bend to the knees. So I also come from a tradition of dance, Bharatanatyam, and this
That's
pose is
right.
called Ardhamandi. If this is too hard on your knees or your hips, you can let your feet separate a little bit if you need to. So important to adjust so that it is comfortable for you. And you don't need your feet to be turned out too far. They just slightly turned out in a soft bend. For me, I'll keep my heels together. That's my training.
Right.
And then you're going to take
See how
your...
long I last with my heels together.
Yeah, we'll see. If you need to come out of it at any moment in time, do what you need to do. So you're going to take your right hand, send the palm so it's facing outwards. The left hand, the palm so that it's facing inwards. And your fingers are going to clasp, like so. And then you can release your thumbs. This is called Ganesh Mudra. Ganesh, the Lord Ganesha, is, of course, who we call on in time of obstacles. So the idea is when we're anxious or fearful, there's some tightness, something that feels like an obstacle. So let your fingers pull away from each other. Once again, you should feel a lot of heat in your quadriceps, a lot of heat in your forearms and your biceps and triceps. Your hands are very actively pulling away from each other, but they're locked in this tight knot. If you can, in your mind, bring something that might cause anxiety for you and send it to that knot in between your hands. So you can imagine whatever that tightness is, letting it culminate, letting it feel heat and tightness, and a little bit longer, and another breath in, and another breath out, and then take a big breath in. As you exhale, you can lengthen your legs, release your hands, shake your hands out, and you're going to begin by bringing both hands so that they're facing in front of you, and the fingertips open and close fast, like sparks. So sparks, very fast. Take a breath in, and a breath out. And then turn your hands down. Keep making the sparks, but your palms are facing up. Breathing in.
Sparks.
And breathing out.
I realize I
You
can get
should
tired
feel
just
a lot of
moving your
intensity.
fingers. Oh my
Yes. So keep going with it. Breathe through it with any sort of tension when we
Is
breathe
anyone
through it.
counting?
And then turn your palms so they're facing down. Yeah, so your forearms are working really hard. Extend your arms, Ron, a little bit. Extend them out.
Oh,
That's
my
right.
wrists are hurting.
Yes.
What am I doing wrong?
No, so there, you feel a lot of
You
heat.
do?
It's, you're not doing anything
My left
damaging.
hand doesn't work as well as my right.
And that's interesting to notice, isn't it? And that's okay. So you can shake your arms out, shake your legs out. And so this is literally like we've culminated all of that nervous energy in our hands and we release it. And then bring your palms facing. They're not touching. They're just facing each other, but you might feel an intense sort of magnetic sensation, maybe some pulsing, maybe some tingling in your hands, some heat. Observe whatever you feel. And just breathe into that space. And then as we did yesterday, you're going to bring your both hands to Gyan Mudra, index and the thumb touch, and then you're going to have the left palm facing up, the right palm facing down. Let the fingertips actually touch like this, and it's right in front of your heart, and then bring a soft bend into your knees. And draw your fingers away from each other. So you're pausing, your left hand pauses right before the navel, right in front of the navel. the right hand. And if it's hard on your knees, Ron, you can just stand tall. Your right hand is right in front of your throat. And then you're going to draw it even further away so that your right hand reaches above your head. And then release the fingers. You just release the fingers. Release the right hand down by your side. And if you want to straighten your legs, you can. If you want to keep the soft bend in your knees, you can. Adjust as you need to be comfortable and at ease. And take a breath in. And a breath out. And then you're going to lift your right palm. The fingers of the right palm are facing up. Fingers of the left palm are facing down. This particular mudra here is called Abhaya Prada Mudra. This is the mudra for fearlessness. So when we're feeling afraid, it is that fearless part of ourselves who we want to access. And we can do so just in creating this gesture of fearlessness. And everyone take your left hand up above your head, kind of slicing the side of you, and then release it down by your side. Bring both hands to center, and now the right hand releases down, reaches up above you, back down, and to center. One more time, left side. Up, down, to center, and then right side down, up, down, to center. And then bringing both hands to Anjali Mudra. You're going to extend your right hand out to the side, the left hand in front of you, up, down, and then they meet in the center and clap as the left hand reaches to the left and the right hand goes up, down, they meet and clap, and you do the same thing to the other side, right hand to the right side, left hand up and down.
Today we really needed the monitor.
Clap. Left hand extends out, right hand up and down, and then clap. Bring your hands to prayer at your heart. Take a big breath in. And as you breathe out, just bring to your mind's eye whatever that thought was that I asked you to recall, something that might make you anxious. And just notice how you feel. Does it arouse the same level of anxiety? Maybe.
Not at all.
Maybe it's a little
I
bit.
feel great.
Oh, you were asking. I was so calm down. I didn't even have to answer.
So
I feel so much better.
It's very
good.
calming,
So
right?
then you can release your
Good
hands.
for you. He still got his knees
Yeah,
bent. I didn't know
that's
at what
it.
point I should straighten my knees. I thought, okay, I'm going to cheat.
And yeah, and so we can all release, and I welcome any questions. You can. The bending of the knee is just nice because sometimes when we stand tall, we can lock our knees. And so
tension.
there's blockage there. That's also hard on the joint.
Right.
So I encourage just a soft bend. You don't have to bend so much that you're
Right.
engaging, but just a soft bend so that you're buoyant.
Yeah. Actually, that did help a lot as well. Plus, I noticed your feet, and I'm thinking, okay, how are my heels supposed to be? I was watching you.
Right.
That was beautiful. So all those mudras are used in dance and the
Yes.
Bharatanatyam, traditional South Indian dancing,
Yes.
to music. So you're
Yes.
incorporating the postures as well.
Yeah. So this one is very directly from dance pose. It's
Right.
But the very gesture of it is really starting with one. This is giving blessing. This one is fearlessness. And there's something about moving and extending that intention in this space, which is why to me this felt like a very nice way of incorporating this original dance movement with this kind of energetic.
Do you teach dance as well? All right, I'm signing up.
Yeah.
It feels good. It feels good. He's gonna learn traditional South Indian dance.
I saw you had a very low sit. I was
You did
impressed.
well, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
My
wrong
knee was
question.
clicking. I did some knee bends this morning with weights. So I was like,
And you do have, your left knee is still hurting, right?
right.
Oh, the right knee. Okay. So you want to be careful. Lana has had knee replacements in both legs, so you want to be extra careful. But so how important is the knee bending?
The knee bending is not It's not as important. It's not. Again, the intention.
for
My
relax,
intention
yeah.
was
To relax.
to sort of release your hips down.
I'm thinking in terms of the dance.
In terms of the dance,
Yeah.
in terms of Bharatanatyam, it's
Yeah.
very important. This,
Right.
this pose, you do want to be
Yeah.
lowered. For the moving meditation as I'm presenting it,
Right.
we only need a soft bend in the knee, again, just to make sure you're not collapsing into your knee joints. That's very damaging.
Right.
It's also, it blocks energy and can cause more pain and negativity. So the soft bend is really there to just allow for flow.
When you irritate your joints, it locks your energy.
Well, like for example, my elbows kind of hyperextend. So when I extend out like this is a complete collapse in my elbow joint. I want to keep it kind of relaxed here so there's movement.
Right.
And that also allows for energetic movement, and that allows for greater support of my muscles.
Right.
So that I'm not just locked.
Right. Okay. And when you talk about the word lock, that's something I hear a lot by personal trainers, yoga instructors, and now a dance instructor as well. But when you say lock, what you're saying is it's likely to cause tension. Is that why we shouldn't lock? Is that what it is? Or do we hurt ourselves? What happens?
Yeah, it's so, in between our bones, like on a very literal way, I'm thinking of it as in between our bones where the joint is.
Right.
When you lock, you're kind of
Bone
the
to
bone
bone.
to bone
they're
is kind
shaking.
of
Okay. got it.
banging against
Right,
each other.
right,
There's
okay.
not as much room for the joint to do its job, which
So
is
it's more the
provide.
physical safety part of it. You want us to be careful.
There's physical, but there's also energetic meridians. So
That's what
there's
I was trying to understand.
that's just it's literally circuitry. So the same way if a pipe is kinked, the water can't get through.
Right. Okay.
It's that same
Got it.
sort of concept.
Got it. That's a lovely explanation. Should we sit
Yeah,
down?
you can come to
Okay.
seat.
Josiane, how are we doing for time? Because we're going to do a quick recap, and this time I don't want anything important to be missed out.
5 minutes.
5 minutes. Shall we do, you touched upon yesterday and today together. Could you do a quick recap of what you did?
Yeah.
Go through those postures. I love it. I love this.
Sure. Yeah. So yesterday we focused on, or we worked on increasing focus and concentration.
Right.
And so some of the gestures of that is to bring the palms of your hands
You missed
together.
this the last episode, so you could have a good experience.
Yeah. So you bring the palms of the hands together, let the fingertips peel away from each other. And you hold this for 3 breaths, and there's a lot of heat and intensity. And in fact, Jonathan, if you can even bring your hands down and let your elbows widen out, so it makes it even more intense. Just feel a lot. This is increasing flexibility in the wrist. And then after you breathe for 3 breaths, I'm moving through it quickly to recap.
Yeah.
After you breathe for 3 breaths, you'll bring your fingers back together, peel the palms away from each other. This is Hakini Mudra. Wonderful for focus and concentration, balancing the right and left hemispheres of the brain. From here, we came to Anjali Mudra, and the thumbs just right to the bridge of our nose, stimulating acupressure points in the pituitary gland. And then from there, we released down Anjali Mudra in front of our hearts, and we did 3 times of extending our arms out. They meet above our heads, and then we release down through the center. We did that 3 times. And then we ended with extending our arms out. And you do this fast circle.
Oh, that's right.
So this was the
you went
flying. This is this is where we generate our wings so that
right.
we can fly.
Going south for the winter.
I knew I wanted
Flying
to
south
fly
for the
again.
winter.
You know, it was good. I liked it.
And then once we do this, you want to do this for about 1 minute. Once you do that, you're going to pause and bring your left hand to your heart. Right hand to Gyan Mudra by your side. Let your eyes close, and we close this very inward meditation, integrating all that we've done into our deepest selves.
So it's a very introverted posture right here. Right?
Yes, absolutely. So the idea is that we kind of deal with our external self, bring some clarity, and then integrate inwardly.
So if you have your palms open with the fingers not connecting, that's up here, which is fearlessness.
That's correct.
But we bring this together.
And Gyan literally means knowledge. So in this place, this is why it's specific when we're increasing our focus and concentration, that this is the mudra we call on, because we're wanting to access the wise and knowledgeable part of ourselves and be clear in that line instead of the
Now it makes more sense. I know in the Natarajasana, when we go through the Natarajasana posture where we have the arm out, my teacher used to always keep the index and thumb together. I think it helps the balance. And I just did it because he did it, but now I know why. That's good. Very nice. So this increases focus. I like that.
Yeah. Any one of these things that I've shown you, you can use individually. You know, like we were saying, you can be on the train and Hakini Mudra.
Right.
Or you can be, you know, at your desk sometimes, feeling a little, if you're feeling like you're having trouble drafting that email, you can kind of just come here and take 3 breaths. So you can do any one of these and use them.
Someone came on our show once. This was actually one of the hosts of Top Gear, BBC's Top Gear, James May, came on our show. He raced his car, and the winner got to come on the show. Every now and then he would slip up on the postures, and he probably knew something that I didn't. I didn't realize what that meant. I knew it was Gyan Mudra, but I didn't know that helped him concentrate because he was getting totally distracted. So that's there's meaning to everything. That's wonderful. Well, a quick recap of today. I think before you do the quick recap of today's gestures, on behalf of Ron Thomas, we have the credits rolling. Ron Thomas, Lana Parr, Jonathan Boothe, and our special guest, Romona Mukherjee. This is Banu Suresh signing off, and you are watching Yogaxpress. Thanks to Josiane Hurd, our director, Malik Parker, and Richard Swanson, our facilitators, and Helmand, our engineer, who resolved a few issues today. This episode has been made possible. Ramona, quick recap of today's.
Quick recap of today. So when we're feeling fearful and anxious, we can start with Ganesh Mudra.
Okay.
Sitting low in our legs. As we pull our hands far apart, our muscles are activated, and then we release. You're going to bring your fingertips as sparks. And do this first, hands facing out. And then
All
you
the way
do
out.
Then you do it with your palms facing up. And then your palms facing down. Sparks, you're going to feel a lot of engagement and activity in the wrists, and then you shake it out. Shake out your whole body, and then bring your palms facing each other. Feel a lot of tingling.
Now I feel the electricity. Now I can feel it. The last
You
time
feel it.
I didn't quite get it.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's a fun
Yeah.
feeling once you feel it, right? So then you do that, then you bring both hands to Gyan Mudra, palms facing each other. And then I forgot to mention earlier, as you draw the fingers apart, this is called Vitarka Mudra, which is said to cultivate wisdom. Once again, a counter to anxiety and fear is our wise self, the problem solver self. So that's the idea here. Draw them apart even further, and then release the fingers. Let both of your hands rest down by your sides, palms facing forward.
And it's okay to sit either way, the way you're sitting all this way.
Yeah. And really, ideally, I would suggest standing for all of these.
Right.
Just again, but just the recap, we're seated. Then you've got your right hand in Abhaya Mudra, which is fearlessness. Another counter to fear and anxiety is courage. So we chant.
Every time I feel threatened by you, I'm going to go like this.
Exactly.
I'm also use that technique. That way I won't hesitate when I do my martial arts more. So this is very helpful. Thank you.
There you go.
Very good, yeah.
Yeah. It's a way to sort of integrate this. This is the posture, this is the pose, and we can stand very empowered and fearless. But it's a nice way to bring it into the body to actually move with it. So that's where you lift your left arm up and kind of slice down by your side. And then both hands come to center, palms facing forward, and then the right hand does it down, slicing along the side, up and then down. And then you do it to the other side, both sides. So we'll finish.